What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Bull and Bear. This week we're going to be talking about Mr. Bookie, the FB, Facebook, long-term cases for Facebook. Why are we bringing Facebook up? We think something could happen to Facebook, whether it's good, whether it's bad. We? Wow, okay. Well, I think something good could happen to Facebook, all right? He thinks something terrible is happening for Facebook. That's why we're on the show, okay? Let's kick it right off with the bull case. Ready? So Facebook ads. We all know what Facebook ads are. That's how they make their money. This is old news. I'm just going over it. This is a huge part of their revenue, guys. It's growing. People love Facebook ads. People love Facebook Marketplace. This is a stable business model. They have proven it. Period. Okay? They have not monetized all of their platforms, though. What do I mean by that? In case you guys didn't know, they own Instagram. They own Facebook Messenger. They own WhatsApp. They own 3 other companies that I didn't care to do my research on. I don't use them. But they own it, okay? And if they figure out how to monetize the rest of their platforms, it's all bad for other platforms like Etsy. It's all bad for other platforms like Pinterest, guys. Facebook is the biggest player, okay? Mr. Bookie always wins, all right? The house always wins, guys. Do not bet against the bookie, all right? Nothing else to say about that. Why are they the biggest player? They have 3.14 million monthly users. Not yearly, monthly, okay? That's a crap ton of people on their platforms every month, guys. That is a crap ton of ad revenue going right into Mr. Zuck's pocket, okay? Right into his pocket every month. Brand recognition. Since they're the biggest player, they're going to get all the business. Do I need to explain that? They're getting all the market share, guys. Everybody wants Facebook ads. They're not going to advertise on Pinterest. They're not going to advertise their stuff on Etsy. I don't even know how that works, all right? I haven't cared to look into the business model because everybody's just looking right at Facebook, okay? And we're seeing a pullback in their price. So if we go to the yearly graph right here, 302.50. That seems like where they're peaking at on this Robinhood graph. I don't even know if that's accurate. Current price, 247. Is it a compelling buy? Yes. This is the most easy money stock I've ever seen, guys. They're going to keep growing, all right? Once they figure out how to monetize WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, I'm telling you guys, it's all bad. Don't listen to anything this guy has to say about the bear case. Trust me. Trust me, okay? Earnings from last year. Let's talk about metrics. Nearly doubled year over year. Earnings per share went up to $1.80, okay, per share. That's pretty good to nearly double year over year. Top line sales grew 11%. Obviously, that's top line. That's not net. But it's still good. All right, we like to see that number keep going up. Double-digit growth year over year for a company of this size. Terrific. Okay, we love to see it. All smiles all around. Okay, I believe Mr. Bookie's gonna get bigger as time goes on. I'm gonna keep this brief. It's an established market leader. Nothing bad to say about it. It owns a ton of social media platforms. Everybody uses Instagram. We'll see if Reels is able to take down TikTok. I hope they are. Not a shareholder, as you can see, but I am seriously considering it at these prices, guys. As soon as I make my next purchase, hopefully I'll have a little bit more capital. Facebook might be a play for me. I don't know. If it is, I'll let you guys know, as always. But with that being said, I think that's going to conclude my bull case here. I think that was pretty strong.
Pretty strong, I guess. But we're going to get into the bear, the bad, and the ugly. So Facebook is a company that has already matured. And the growth can be there. I mean, with a big company like Facebook, there could always be something that just happens and then they happen to make some money. So I'm not going to downplay Facebook and tell you it's a terrible company and it's all these terrible things that you never want to invest in. Because, I mean, how wrong can you go with investing in Facebook? Eventually it's going to make you money. But it's definitely not a growth play. It's definitely slow, and they're going to have to keep innovating and finding all these new and improved ways to make people love Facebook in order to make this money and keep people involved. The way Facebook is a social media company, if you bare bones it, and social media moves so fast. Every year there's a new app, a new platform that is taking over the universe, as you see with TikTok this year. And what's to say that Facebook can just keep buying all of these things? They bought Instagram, and now Instagram's kind of on the back seat because Reels isn't that successful, especially compared to TikTok, which is like the biggest app on the planet. I think that's actually true. No, that's true. I just researched it 5 times. It's true. And Facebook isn't overvalued, but there's still a slight premium, and you're not getting that exponential growth right off the bat like you are with some of these other smaller stocks that you could put your money into, get a few shares of, and move on with your day. So some other things that I've been looking at is they have this streaming platform that they've had for a little while now, but they're trying to compete with Hulu, Netflix, and Disney Plus. So they're getting into a market again, just like social media, where they're having to compete with all these new and fancy and already have millions of people following them, watching everything they do, and they're just trying to get in on the action. They're not leading in any of these things. So Facebook might have however many bajillion people on Facebook every year. But if you look at the demographic, those people tend to be older. So as you move forward, there's going to be a new platform, say maybe it's Twitter, maybe it's something else that hasn't even been invented yet, that brings all these new people, and those people stay with it. I mean, you saw MySpace be the biggest social media platform on the planet, and then 3 years later, nobody cares about it.
It's not MySpace, guys.
So there's always cause for concern with things like this. So aside from their social media and different things like that, we'll get into like a little bit about the company. So Facebook stores data. Everyone knows that. And they store a lot of data from Europe, which is a quarter of their revenue. They store data and they store it in the U.S. Sorry, they take data from European users and store it in the U.S. But a lot of countries in Europe are saying, hey, Facebook, we don't want you to do that. So what are you going to do about it? Well, Facebook's saying that they're going to leave. They're not going to have their platforms in Europe anymore. Like I said, that's a quarter of their revenue every year. That's $18 billion. So that's definitely something that you need to keep be watching over, seeing what happens if you are investing in Facebook. Another thing is you see Mark Zuckerberg, especially over the past 2 years, in court. And that's to do with Facebook stealing personal data and selling it for advertisement. So they make a lot of money off advertisement, but if they're making all that money by stealing people's data and then selling it, eventually there's going to be some sort of law that's prohibiting them from doing that. There's going to be something put in place because people are upset about it. And every time that Mark Zuckerberg's in court, the stock price drops for a few weeks. So maybe that's time for you to buy, or maybe one of those times it might not come back as well as it did before. These are just causes for concern, like I said before. I just think that there's better options if you're looking for a growth play or a dividend play, because Facebook doesn't have one. So if you're putting all this money into a company and they're not giving you anything back, I just think there's other avenues to make money. It's not going to tank, but the boom or bust, you're looking at something in the middle. You're not really looking at the bust, and you're not really looking at some huge boom. So it's how you want to structure your portfolio. But for me, that's the bear case.
All right, guys. As always, we're not financial advisors. Entertainment purposes only. That's every video, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, we'll see you guys for another episode. Transparency update. Almost forgot. Neither of us hold Facebook. Thinking about it. But
not thinking about it.
Guys, it's gonna win. All right. With that being said, we'll see you guys for another episode here on the channel every week.
And we will see you later.